What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Me versus Me podcast. I'm here with Cam the Shark. Cam, you want to introduce yourself?
How you doing? I'm Cam the Shark. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Yeah. So one thing we were just talking about right now, is he was thinking about starting up a podcast, and we were talking about like what type of podcast he would want to do, and so he was just basically saying like something generalized, but like I think one thing that I also wanted to like mention to you, bro, is that like you don't have to have any other, like you don't gotta overthink it or anything. What you could basically do is just start out with like a simple setup, and then it will come. Like it'll all come together eventually.
Yeah, most definitely. I just started back posting YouTube videos because I was so scared to do that because I was putting all my time into TikTok because I had a bigger following over there. But now I'm trying to make the transition, allow people to see how I'm living, you know, because a lot of people don't know that I'm an uncle. A lot of people don't know what I do on my free time. So if you haven't subscribed already, Cam the Shark on all platforms, you know, just
Yeah,
come
check
on
them out. Check
through,
them out.
you know.
Exactly. What? So and then okay, okay. So, like the YouTube channel. What's the type of content that you have on there? Is it similar to your TikTok?
Absolutely. I'm really trying to get more into vlogs because that's really my passion, but I just don't like pursue it enough, but I'm really trying to step back into that realm of content because that's what really made me want to start doing TikTok videos, and I don't come from the whole social media background. Like I seen a few of my friends doing it, and shout out to one of my best friends. He's always in the video with me. He always tell me like, you got that voice, you got that spark, you got that, that it factor that'll make people want to listen. And I just sat on it for a while, like I could really do this because what do they have that I don't? You know?
No, for sure, yeah. And like what I was just telling Cam everybody is that like when I first started on TikTok, I would watch a couple of his videos. There's a couple other people who like I would basically like learn from because I studied TikTok before I actually started making videos. I studied it.
Like that's all you gotta do is just study. Like you ain't gotta be the best, but as long as your delivery is strong, people will gravitate towards you. You're not gonna always hit your target audience. You're gonna run across people that's not even gonna look. And that's totally fine because the stuff that we do is not for everybody.
No, for sure. And it's always for your niche, your niche people, the people who actually like lock in with you. Those are your people.
Right, and I done lost a job behind making content before. Like,
What?
yeah, it's serious. Like, all because I'm just trying to pursue one of my goals is making content and I lose a job. So be careful, if you really trying to do this, like be mindful of who you have around you at the time because a lot of people grow envious and jealous all the time. And when I lost my job at that time, I'm in college. I'm still in college. Like this is my second year. I'm just trying to scrape some money together because I'm not making a lot of money. Like I just need something to put gas in the car. And they call me into the office like, look, we can't have you working here due to the content that you're making because it's a hazard. You know, that's why I say like it's perks, then it's hazards. But you got to be mindful. So if you really want to start doing content full time, like please be mindful of the company that you keep because a lot of people grow envious. The same people that clap for you be the same people that hate you.
Damn. And that's crazy. I think that anybody watching this podcast today, if you guys are interested in doing it, you guys should really pay attention to what Cam is saying because that's stuff that even I haven't encountered. And so like, I don't ever want it to ever happen to any of us, but like I sure as hell don't want people to go out there blindly and then they're making this content, they're making all these videos and then they end up just kind of like ending up stuck.
Right. And at that time, I was devastated because, like, it's the summertime. I just need to hold on to this job for like 2 more months because school start back. I'm like, if I can hold on to this job for 2 more months, I'm good. But I understand when they were saying like we can't have somebody uh as of a stature as you working here because we don't want to put anybody else in jeopardy. I'm like, I get it, it's cool, you know. And I just had to really just push on from there, and it really put me in a dark space, you know, because I'm like I really don't know where to go from here, but I don't want to give up on what I got going on, so I just lock in heavy. I'm doing videos in my car. Anywhere I go, I still record in my car to this day, and you know, like it's a grind. You know, sometimes people come up to the car like, "Hey, are you recording?" Or this, that, and the third. Like it's a grind. So
Yeah, and I think that like cuz I make most of my videos in my car too, right? And I always have like I have like one of those cradles, you just put your phone on the thing. So I can
yes, sir.
record the video while I'm driving.
Yeah, and I do that sometimes too. Like, but I'd rather just be stationary because I could like focus on what's around me. Because I don't recorded a few videos and like I was not aware of my surroundings. So like just be mindful of what you got going on because it's a big leap when you decide to, start posting on the internet because just like it's a positive side to the internet, it's also that negative side.
100%. Like, and I never thought that like I would ever experience it, but still, like me making videos and then being like, "Hey, yo, check out this video," and then someone make a comment about it, and you're like, "Damn, like, like I thought we was locked in. Like, hold up, like, why you gonna hit me with that?" But one thing that I also want to say is not everybody is gonna support what you do because not everybody's interested in some of the stuff that you're interested in. Just
Absolutely.
when it comes to that. Now, when you're in the car making content and stuff like that, I do agree with you that it's better to be stationary, and there's a lot of hazards involved because it requires your full attention.
Absolutely. And I didn't have to really reevaluate my circle with doing this. Like, cause I done lost a lot of friends. Well, not even friends. I just call them like people I used to deal with because it's like I thought they had my best interests at heart, but whole time it really wasn't for them. Like they just wanted to be around just to say, "Oh, I know him," or I could get you in with such and such, like just for bragging rights. So when you make content and you start to get some notoriety or you start getting some real attention, you really got to look around you all the time because a lot of people they will be the reason why you don't go nowhere.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I like having this platform too, because I like to bring on people who I actually like to talk to, right? And then I
Right.
watch a lot of your videos, very inspirational, very motivational. A couple times, I would be sitting there kicking it in my car, just going through whatever, and you'll be like, "Hey, bro, people know exactly what they're doing," like, and I'm just like, "All right, cool." Like, I didn't want to hear it, but I heard it. Now I know it. Now I accept it. All right, bet. Like, let's keep pushing forward.
Right, and some of the videos come from me having real life experiences. Like it comes from conversations I done had with my mom, people like conversations I done had with my best friends, like people I done really encountered. So that's why it's kind of easier for me to put what I go through in a video because I don't really lived it, I don't really felt it, I don't really been through it. I got battle scars from it, so it's kind of easier to talk about, you know. Because in the beginning, I'm like, man, I don't want to really do this. Like, I don't see myself doing it, but like, I just got in front of the camera one day and just started talking, and it's been paying off ever since.
Yeah, I think you're gonna do very well on your podcast, considering the fact that one of the reasons why I started mine was because I wanted to be able to tell the story about things. Like
Right.
the intention of this one is like I like your content. I want to bring you on here so that way you can talk about it.
And I
Like and
appreciate that. And when I seen your text, I was like, nah, this can't be for real. But I'm gonna
yeah,
go ahead and do it because I watch your content and I see your videos often, like for real. Like I post mine, I scroll down, I see yours. I scroll down again, I see your video again. So I was like, you know what? I gotta respect it because he's working, and like I see his videos often, and I really hope you go far with this. Really,
yeah, and you as well, brother. Like I want
I
to say
appreciate
that
it.
and here's one thing that I noticed too, like jumping around from platform to platform. Instagram content little different from TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, like or X, I guess. All of it's a different hustle. You know what I mean?
right? Cause like you might not hit your target audience on Instagram, but TikTok is doing numbers. And you gotta like in the post time it's kind of different depending on what you posted on. And that's something that I still struggle with because I post on TikTok and go post on YouTube and not be worried about it. But you
Yeah.
also gotta build that that support base up so whenever you post, it's doing numbers every single time. And, like you just gotta stay passionate about it. Like it's a hard thing to get into, especially if you don't come from that background of watching YouTube or watching TikTok or seeing people around you do videos. Like my best friend, he does photography. I grew up watching him showing me how to work his camera. And I was like, and now I'm a little bit seasoned, so like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get me a camera. And I just got me a camera recently. And like I felt bad for getting it because I spent the last little money I had getting the camera. But I was like, you know what? It's gonna be days where you go without sometime. Like I might not have gas in my car right now, but I'm able to put out my content that's gonna give me longevity in this career.
Yep. And you got to look at it like if you're making content, it's a more of an investment. Like
Right, like
if
you
you
gotta
if you
pour into yourself.
exactly, you have to spend the dollars into whatever it is that you're doing, you're building, so that way it can grow.
Absolutely. And there's gonna be times where you spend your last on a promotion or you spend your last on, a SD card for your camera. Like I done did it all. Like I done spent pretty much all my money buying tripods that I probably don't use no more, but I still pull it out and make it work if I have to, depending on where I'm at.
Yeah. But you know what? I say there's rewards and stuff like that too, because you gain a little experience, but also like you gain understanding, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's good to understand the business because if you somebody that's making videos and you blow up like quite quickly and you got promotions coming in, you got to understand the other side of the business. Like you can't just be talking about anything in your videos because now you got brands looking at you now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like there's endorsements and stuff.
Yeah. Like you got to understand it. So if you're not really passionate about it, like you're not going to go far with it. And you're not going to get far if you only looking for the money because if that money don't come, you're not going to want to do it.
Yeah, no, I feel that. You know what's actually funny about like some of the content that I produce is I always was like I don't want to pay for promotion. If anything, I want to build my audience with my organic content. The type of stuff
Abs-
that any given day I could post, people are like,
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with getting a promotion because sometimes you need that extra push. It's nothing wrong with that. And I done did promotions and they done quite well. Sometimes ain't nothing wrong with getting that extra push for your content, for your business, for your YouTube. For whatever you got going on.
facts though, facts. Actual factuals. Hey, so I actually wanted to ask you, what are you studying for in college?
I'm studying sports medicine right now. When I first started out in college, I was doing pre-health science, but I didn't really like the major for real. I didn't really like the major. I didn't really click with none of my teachers. And you watch my videos, I'm very loud. I'm very passionate in what I do. And I was talking to my counselor one day. I was like, I'm probably just about to drop out. This is not for me. Like, I'm spending all my money on books that I'm not reading. I'm not really invested into what I got going on. Like, I'm talking to my counselor like she knows me and we only just met today. And she was like, well, I don't suggest you dropping out. And I was like, if I can't drop out, I want to change my major. And from that point on, I've been sports medicine. Like, I take a lot of speech classes. And every time I take a public speaking class, my teacher tells me, you really have that voice. You really have that real passion behind when you speak. And I was like, I've been getting that forever. So I guess I'm doing the right thing because if I'm not, like God will let me know.
Yeah, you word things very cool. Like you definitely have a way with your voice, and the way that you choose to word things, it's very smooth, but it's very accurate. You know?
Thank you. Like, and that's something that I practice all the time because I did poetry in high school. You know, I spent countless hours really trying to perfect my delivery because I'm also into music also. So everything I do pretty much tie in together. So the same way I would deliver something, a punchline or anything, that's the same way I word my videos.
Yeah, and you know what? It's crazy because like I was gonna talk about this a little while ago, but it's interesting to see that like once you start getting into content creating, anything to do with creation kind of is like transferable. Like you can kind of observe from a certain perspective. Oh, you know what? Maybe if you like angle the camera this way, you know, you can kind of have this slight effect, which is gonna also make it look more cinematic. But that's something that you learn by just messing with the camera. Where like, hold on, let me, okay, you know.
Yeah, like you learn different stuff like and I know a lot of people that do content that never thought about doing content. So it's like you start off doing one thing, you unlock a whole different realm of activities. Like I never thought about doing content a day in my life. Until I sat down with my best friend, he was like, "Man, just try it out. Just try it, cause trying is beneficial." And if we never would have sat down and had that talk, I don't even think I'd be right here talking to you. So it's a blessing.
Yeah, same with me, bro. I had a lot of people who believed in me, even when I couldn't see it myself. And eventually, like all of those talks, they weren't wasted. It just became like I had a bunch of stuff in my head. I didn't really truly see the vision, but I had kind of developed like a, let's say, like a cloth over my eyes, and little by little, it kind of started like coming off. And then once I actually started getting on like TikTok, I could see a little more, but all the things that people had been telling me for years were just kind of starting, like I could see it now. I'm like, oh dang, like, so
Right,
sometimes it just takes encouragement.
right. And sometimes we be our biggest downfall. Like people believe in us, we don't believe in ourselves. Now we just in that little limbo stage. Like, do I want to do it? Do I want to like try it just to see? But the moment you actually try it and like you like it, it'll make you want to go further with it. And that was kind of my biggest like downfall. Like I said, everybody was telling me, "Oh, you should try it out. You should try it out." I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do that because I was the shy kid for the longest. You know, I didn't want to be on the camera, didn't want to be in the spotlight, didn't want to have that type of attention on me for a while. But sometimes when I go out in public, you know, because I see a lot of people that watch my videos when I go to the store, when I go to the mall, when I'm just hanging out, and I interact with everybody I see because like these are the people that watch me, and I'm grateful for that because they open up different doors for us
Yeah, you know what? And like, I think that you have, even though you said you were like more quiet and stuff, I feel
here.
like you would probably stay quiet but speak up when it's time to speak, based
Oh,
off of what I
absolutely.
get from your content.
Absolutely. Like I always been that person. Like I just want to mind my business and do what I gotta do. But when it's time to speak, I'm gonna speak. Like last semester, my teacher, he was like, you know what? You have the biggest influence in the class. I'm gonna let you do what you do, and hopefully something good will come out of it. And like I don't try to be that person that likes to take over and stuff. I only speak when I have to. But I'm very passionate in what I do. So like I can't help but to get super passionate and super loud and super joyful when I do the stuff that I do.
Yeah, and you know what's okay? Actually, so I do have one other question for you, by the way.
For
Have you
sure.
ever been walking around and you swear people recognize you?
Oh, absolutely. The first time I ever ran into a supporter, I was on a self care day. You know, take yourself on a self care day, go out, get food, relax. You know, take that day to just calm down and reset. You know, so I was at the mall. It's ironic because when I don't supposed to be at the mall, I'm up there anyway. So I'm there. You know, I'm by myself. I'm going into the stores. You know, having fun. I'm in the Chick-fil-A line. The line is crazy long. uh I hear somebody talking and I'm trying to ignore it because I mind my business. Like that's what a lot of people need to learn how to do, mind their business, you know. And this girl come up to me like, "Aren't you Cam?" I was like, "Yeah, my name's Cam." You know, we have a conversation. I love your content. You know, I see it on Instagram. You made me want to do what I do. and it made me feel good, you know. And I was like, oh, I appreciate it, you know. Like I like she didn't ask for a picture. She kept it neutral. Like she didn't want to get super loud because again, we in public. Like people are already looking because I'm that person. Like I attract good energy because that's what I bring, you know. But it was a good experience. But at the same time, I still got to be on my toes because it's a lot of people that don't like us just because of what we do and how we do it.
No, straight up, yeah. And like there's a bunch of other factors for that. But I just want to say that that girl coming up to you, bro, that's pretty solid. That's pretty
It is,
cool.
it is, and it's so crazy because like I knew her before I was doing content, before I wanted to do anything. I was just like regular old me, just Cameron, just want to go to school. You know, I crack jokes, do what I do, laugh
Yeah.
and play all the time. But she was like, I can't believe you really turned yourself into that person where people really look up to you and they value what you say. Like you always been a leader, you know? And it made me feel good. And I was like, I gotta go 10 times harder because I know somebody watching. I know this video gonna make somebody feel good. And that's one thing I really struggled with at the beginning. Like you got to make relatable stuff like people can really feel. Like I know I'm not the only one going through this. I know I'm not the only person that's struggling right now because we all have a struggle that we go through, whether it's mental, physical, emotional. You know, we all have things that we struggle with on an everyday basis. So just to see that other people are experiencing the same thing is good because it brings that reality back.
Definitely. And many a times I was sitting there kicking in the car, and you're like that homie that's kicking it with you who tells you stuff you don't want to hear. You're just like, damn. All right, you right, bro. You right. Like I would just be sitting there. I would just be sitting there like kicking it, like going through a mood, and I would just hear your content, bro. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it, but damn, like I can't
Yeah,
unhear it.
right, like, and that comes from like my mom. She's one of them people like, I don't care if you don't want to hear it, you're gonna have to hear it. Because if you
Yeah.
don't hear it from me, you're gonna hear it from somebody that you really don't want to hear it from. So either you're gonna listen right now or you're gonna be forced to listen later.
Bro, my aunt, oh my god, I love my aunt. But she has a saying where she's like Groundhog Day, like the lesson that you're bound to learn, if you don't learn it, then you're doomed to repeat it until you learn it.
Right, and that's something that I always like I struggled with grasping that in the beginning because I'm only 23. So when I was like I used to just I had a lot of friends and I just used to slowly see like, you know, these people that I'm hanging with don't really care about me. You know, they don't really care like if I got somewhere to call home. Like so when I graduated, I told myself I gotta start putting me first. You know, I gotta start pouring into me, you know, because at the end of the day, can't nobody force you to get up and get in front of the camera and just do what you do. And as I started to blow up, as I started to gain a little bit of notoriety, a lot of people started to fall off, which is normal because everybody they only supportive of you when they get in a slice of the pie, you know, and we know this. But as I
Yeah,
started to go on, I'm like, okay, because struggling reveals the people that need to be around you. I don't care what nobody say. Like when you go through a hard time, you see all the counterfeits that don't need to be around you. You know, I just did a video about this because my friend he always tell me like, you know, when you struggle, you see who don't need to be around. You see the people that keep you in that dark place. You know, and we all done been in a dark place.
damn. Now you got me like, like damn, because it's all stuff that like I'm telling you, like I don't want to hear it. You saying it, I'm just like, damn, like you got me right now.
Like my bad. It's just like I'm very big on accountability, and I don't like feeling like I'm not being accountable for what I got going on in my own life. You know.
Mhm.
So anytime I mess up, can't nobody tell me I'm not being accountable because I'm gonna let myself know when I did something that's wrong or I did something that's messed up because that's how you get through it. Like a lot of people, they want to stay in that place where they don't want to hear anything, they don't want to listen, and they always get messed up 10 times over again, and they want to blame you. So I just been big on accountability ever since then.
Yeah, true. Plus, you want to hang out with people who actually like care about you. Like, I'm not saying they have to be like your best friend in the world or nothing, but like you should always kind of care about the people around you, because
Right.
like if they're doing something that's gonna harm themselves, you want to be able to warn them. And I think that like it's important to have friends like how you are that actually are going to, disrupt your like state of mind, or whatever the hell your world is revolving around. They'll disrupt that to bring you back to reality. Like, hey, uh, you
Right,
know, you probably shouldn't have did that.
right, because you can't have people around you that's got bad perception of life. Because your life is your perception. Perception is life. If you a person that's always in a messed up situation, you probably need to sit down and reevaluate some stuff. Like who you got around you, and I understand, like we gonna run into bad apples. We gonna run into people that we think that love and care about us, just like a relationship. Like you run into a person, you'll meet a person, you think they care about you, you think they love you, until you go through a situation and the true color is revealed, you know? And even though it's a hurtful situation, and don't get me wrong, love is a beautiful thing. Like, we need more love in the world anyway. But when you in love with the wrong person, it takes a toll on you.
Um, you know what? That's basically like all I wanted to say was just that I think that your content's very dope, and it's always hit me right in my heart. And like you were saying earlier, man, like you gotta respect the hustle. You gotta respect someone's grind because we all out here trying to do what we're doing. And you see the ones who are out there every day battling with it, and it's like, I see, boy, I see you, or I see you, my girl. That's right, I see you. Like,
Right, and like we gotta be that positive voice to start lifting people back up, because like people are just so unattached. Like you got people that are afraid to be vulnerable. Like when did we ever get to that point? For real. It's like I understand it's hard to be vulnerable with people that you just met, but everybody should have that person where they able to put their guard down and be honest and truthful with, like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Like, I trust you with how I feel. I trust you with my life. I should be able to come to you and take off my battle armor and take off my Superman or Superwoman costume and be me, you know?
yeah, because there's stuff that you work on in front of people, but there's also stuff that you work on like in front of your people.
Right. And everybody is battling something where they battle it publicly or behind closed doors, you know? And like it's hard to try to navigate through life when it's like it's
Oh, hold up, I
always
think I lost
something,
you.
something
1 second, one
negative.
second.
Like me,
Technical
I stay off
difficulties,
the
y'all.
internet for the most part. Like I post my content and I go on about my day. Like earlier, I seen a video. I don't know if you in tune with the YouTube challenge. They doing the pop the balloon, the 20v1s. Like that stuff is ridiculous to me. Like I seen a clip earlier. The dude popped his balloon. The girl started hitting him. Like, and I don't understand that type of stuff, because it's like y'all stand in line all day just to get humiliated, or to stand in line just to get a few likes and clicks or a little bit of notoriety, but you putting somebody else down, you know?
Yeah, nah, bro. Like, I don't even like hanging out with people that like. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know roasting each other and stuff like that, or like bagging on each other, but I don't like to hang around with people who do it like they're always trying to put somebody under them.
Right.
Like,
Like, and don't get me wrong, me and my friends, we do it all the time, but it's just like basic level stuff. Like, but when you want to start getting personal and stuff, like that's where you draw the line, because like me, I like to play a lot, but I don't play with people that I just met. Like I don't know you to that extent to where we could just have that kind of rapport yet. Like, let's build that.
yeah, not only that, but like to do it for clout is a whole different measure.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the thing with everybody nowadays. Like everybody want to be in front of the camera doing something idiotic or do something they're not supposed to be doing. Like that's why, like, you'll never catch me going live saying anything erratic or anything unintelligent is a better word, because I just don't do that. That's not how I present myself, and that's not how I want to present myself. Knowing that like a lot of people are tuned into what I do and they know how I carry myself.
Right, right, right. Hell, even with my content too, when I create it, like I'm usually just speaking my own thoughts, right? And I
Right,
I tend to meditate on these thoughts a little bit because I don't want to just put anything out there and it's like it just sounds like anything else. I
right,
want
like
people to be like, that's his recipe, that's his style.
right, like that's his delivery, like, and we love him for that. And and I see a lot of people like I aspire a lot of people to do a lot of different things. I got a DM one day like, hey, like I want to start doing content. I want to start doing such and such. And I say, hey, go ahead and do it. Trying is always beneficial. Like I'd rather you try it and know that you don't like it for yourself instead of me telling you to do it or me making that decision for you. Like, you know?
Yeah, or like people feel pressured to do something and they never do it. They run away from it, but like they never tried it. And it was just like unnecessary pressure. Like that person probably didn't want to do any type of content creating, but they got, you know, pressured into it. And that's just like one of the many aspects about it, a situation like that.
Right. Like the best way to live is do stuff when you are ready to do it. Do stuff when you are ready to do it. Do it on your time. Don't let nobody force you. Don't let nobody make you do it. Do everything when you are ready.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That you see, that's the type of stuff that it seems so easy, but it also takes a little bit of detaching from reality to be
Right.
able to perceive that. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's why I say like if you bad at like with comprehending, like it's gonna be hard because it's hard to talk to people that always want to be combative. Like you can't be combative when making content. You can't because we all in the same boat. We all in the same, same area. The same way you pick up your phone to do content, the same way I do it. So we all got room for improvement, but you can't be combative. The people that want to be combative always stay that bottom tier. Always.
Yeah, I'm always uplifting to everybody around me. Like I tend to ask people like when they tell me about their problems sometimes, like, do you want to vent or do you want me to go into like troubleshooting mode? Because I could do both. But for
Right,
the
because it's different tiers. Like, do you want me to be
yeah, yeah.
honest, or do you want me to sugarcoat it for you? Because either
Yeah,
way it
like
go, it's gonna be real.
yeah, like, do you want to talk and I just listen like, oh damn, that's crazy. Like, or do you want me to be like, bro, you know you're wrong. Like, how do you
Right,
want me to do this?
right, and it's important to have people around you that let you know when you are wrong every time, even if it's only like, bro, you was wrong, and you know you was wrong. But I see why you would feel that way because I feel the same way too. Like, you gotta have that transparency with the situation.
Yeah. But like, so I guess what I was saying to say what I was saying that was to say that why I was saying that was to say that for my content on TikTok I tend to add a little special. Like if I'm like that with my friends already and these are people who I know in my actual true life, I'm looking at it like, you know what, the audience that I basically cater to on my platforms, I want to
Right.
give them something a little bit more special, like little gems, just to make it
Right,
a
you have
little bit
to.
more meaningful.
You
You know
have
what I
to give
mean?
them that something to think on or
Oh,
something to sit on.
did I lose you again?
Say it again.
Yeah, I was saying like my TikTok audience, I like to leave them with something a little bit more special than like how I am with my friends. Like, like, do you want me to just listen to you vent or do you want me to go into troubleshooting mode? Like the way I approach the some of the content that I create is like I want to leave people with something that's like more resounding, something that's more like it resonates with them because I don't have access to them all the time. They might only have access to me when they're watching a video of mine. So I want it to be more special?
Absolutely. You got to give something for them to sit on and just to think about. Because let's be honest, some people, they don't listen to the people that they got in their life, but they get on the internet and look at us like, you know what? He hitting on something so like you got to give them something to sit on because when it's hitting them right there in that little spot that they don't want to be hit on, like it's gonna sit a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy is because like I'm the same way, right? There's certain people that when they tell me stuff, I'm like, "Psh, whatever. But like that's me understanding that I'm human sometimes too. Like it's different than just what TikTok sees, Instagram, all that stuff?
Right, and I always let my audience know, like, look, I go through stuff too. I don't want to get on here and make it seem like I'm better than anybody. The same stuff I go through is the same stuff y'all go through. Hell, we going through it together, if you want to be honest.
Yep.
Like, we in the same situation. We just two individuals that's just trying to make it in our life and trying to better our situation.
Yeah, one of the craziest things I ever heard about something like that is when I wrote a song, and then someone was like, "Yo, like it's like you basically worded that for me. You basically stole the words from, like, not to say stole the words, but like they weren't able to write the lyrics, like they weren't able to write it out like it is in their head, and I wrote it out and I put it into a song, and then they're like, yo, it's like you basically took what was in my head and put it in a song.
Right, and when you a person that go through a lot,
Oh,
it's
okay.
easier for you to
Let's see here.
really put your
Technical
emotions
difficulties.
on the.
I'm gonna have a but. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a bunch of editing to do after this.
I know. I'm a editor for YouTube. Send help because it's hard, but like I like to keep it natural. Like I don't like doing all the little editing, but like I'm gonna get there though. Because like I plan on being around for a very long time, and I really want to let people in. Like this is what I do on my everyday basis. I wake up, go to the gym. Like it's good to have a healthy regimen in your life, especially if you want to be consistent in changing your situation.
Yeah, bro. Plus, one of the things that I've noticed is all about influence. You doing something right the right way and consistently, like by a routine or whatever, there's other people in your life who are watching you that you don't know that are watching you, that it motivates them.
Right, like even when you feel like people not watching, you still gotta do the right thing because people got kids. Like they gotta have somebody to look up to. It. That's why me being an uncle, like I make sure I move a certain way because I don't want them to be infatuated by the wrong stuff.
Yeah,
Like that's something I was
yeah.
always heavy on. Like
No,
do the right thing because you
can
never know who watching.
yeah. Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
I well, I'm an uncle, so I make sure I move correctly because I don't want them to be infatuated by the wrong things or seeing the wrong things. It starts right then and there. If you doing the wrong stuff and people see you doing the wrong stuff, they gonna feel like it's cool. So it's a chain reaction.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's funny that you say that because you're an uncle, whereas I
Yeah,
learned it differently, but it's still the same principle. Where I was working, I was detailing cars, right? The mobile car washes. And my
yeah,
boss, he always used to tell me like, do the job like as if I was watching you. But in reality, it's like do the job as if the customer was watching you. And
right,
then, then you start to realize like I should just be doing the job as if like anybody's watching me when nobody's watching me.
right. And that's my whole point. Like you gotta perform either way, whether little kids is watching, your manager, your friends, whoever is watching, because you just don't know. Like, and you want to set a good example. So, like, I wasn't able to do everything I wanted to do, but at the same time, I understood like I have to move correctly because it's people under me that's watching, and I want to set the tone for them.
Yeah, and there's ripples in it. Like there's definitely like ripples into it that you don't notice up until a certain point, and then it becomes more obvious. But it's like, dang, how long has this person been kind of like studying me or just tapping in? You know,
Right,
because not everything's so like, oh, let me, like, how long has this person just been tapping in enough to kind of like get organized and be like, you know what, like maybe I want to do something like that too.
right. And I was like, you know what? Like, you never know what opportunity is around the corner. This would be the opportunity that'll take me from square one to square 10, just by me performing like I'm supposed to.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is like sometimes you'll get to square 10 and then you're basically doing stuff that you already learned to do on square 2. Like
Right,
you put in the work from square 1 to square 10, but like maybe at some point you just got like promoted to square 10, but you were doing the
right,
basics the whole time.
right. And with anything, you can't skip the struggle. You can't skip the hard times. You can't skip the times where you go without. Like all of that is important. All of that is gonna mold you into who you need to be. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care how hard it is. You can't skip that type of stuff because this is the stuff that we look back on when we get to where we need to be for our lives, our families, sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, whoever. Because like I'm able to say like I made it through even though I had everything against me. You know?
Most definite, man. And like, yeah, I get you, man. It's crazy because like there's a lot of times where in life where you're like a little bit uncertain about a thing, but in reality, it's just like have no fear, you know?
Right. And like, and if it's time for you to take that risk, like just take it. Like don't worry about looking crazy because you're gonna look crazy a lot of times. Like you don't like I done been out in public recording myself looking crazy a lot of times, but it's done paid off every single time. Every single time.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like I know exactly what you're talking about. So like all those looks that people give you, they're like, oh, you're just like,
Right. I was just
yeah.
recently I had my camera out yesterday vlogging because like I'm telling you, like I'm trying to get I'm trying to get some traction towards that on my YouTube. And like I know it's gonna be slow picking back up, like it's a part of the game. I'm not it's nothing new. I was in the store with my camera and this lady was like, um, are you are you scared of people walking up to you with your camera? No, not at all, because like at the end of the day, like this is something that I'm passionate about, so I don't mind looking crazy. I don't mind looking like delusional when it comes to doing what I love to do, you know, especially when you got real goals. You're gonna look crazy most of the time. Hell, some of the times you're gonna be grinding with nothing in your pocket, nothing to offer, nothing, but those are the days that you look back on and remember.
Exactly. It's easy to look crazy when you have nothing to show for it, but you believe in yourself so much, even when.
Like even when like I done had like people I done went to school with call me like,
Oh,
"Hey,
damn.
look,
Hold up.
you need to figure something out because you out here looking crazy, and you one of the people in our friend group that people really check for now. So I'm gonna need you to get it together." I'm like, man, I don't care about looking delusional. I don't care about looking crazy, man. Let me do what I do. I'm the one that's taking this risk. Like, I really had to put all my eggs into a basket when I decided to really start focusing on my YouTube and on my TikTok and how I deliver my message.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like if I'm checking off all the boxes that like, I'm doing what I got to do, I'm making sure I'm like not hurting anybody and stuff.
Right,
Let me do it my way. Let me do it the way I do me.
exactly. And a lot of people, they want to try to dictate how you move because they only worried about their image when they are around you.
Yeah. Or they only have like a one template, like it's got to be their way. Like,
Right, it's
nah,
got to be
bro.
their way. And like, you can't have people around you like that because that's not a good way to go about handling business. Like, you got to be able to compromise. You got to be able to compromise. You got to be able to roll with the punches.
Yeah, I flat out bump heads with those people. It's because I'm too much of a free thinker, but like also like I don't want to like say like I'm intelligent, but like I'm kind of intelligent sometimes. Other times
You
I'm not.
intelligent in your own way. Like you gotta,
Yes.
like you gotta do it on your own accord. Cause if I got somebody in my ear telling me how to do my videos, how to set my camera up, it's gonna be a bad day. I don't think it's gonna be no videos that day. It's gonna be one of them days.
Yeah, and this is something that I get to do, so I cherish it a little bit more. So I'm not gonna
Right,
be around the people that are gonna poke holes in my balloon. Like, nah, bro, I'm gonna take it somewhere special. I'm gonna do it how I want to do it, and then I'm just gonna, I'm gonna water in it like exactly how I would want to.
right, and and just like family, I done seen people really do content and they family disown that and don't like that. But the moment that they get some notoriety or they do something that people draw a liking to, then they accept it. But at the same time, you gotta make that line between what's genuine and what's not. Because I done met a few people that say that they really support that, but they only support it when it's making them look good. Like you got to do this like willingly, and you got to do it with a free mind. You can't allow nobody to rain on your parade. Like be creative in your own way.
But you know what? Like one thing I've noticed is people are gonna people. You know what I mean? People are gonna do
Right,
what people do, and so long as you don't let that affect your recipe or whatever you got going on, especially if you're in content creation, right?
right. Like you got to be able to, and you can't allow the negativity, the negative comments. Them gonna come regardless. Them gonna come
Yes,
regardless.
everybody has input, but like, what are they doing with their output? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like people gonna do them. People gonna be people, whether if it's good, bad, or indifferent. Everybody gonna have their opinion about you. I say this all the time. Some people gonna love you. Some people gonna hate you. Some people gonna love you no matter what you do. Like
But
they gonna
secretly
see
hate you.
no they ain't gonna see no wrong in what you do. But you just gotta be confident in yourself. Like I know my situation might not look too good right now, but as long as I could pick up my phone and just make content and make somebody feel good, or at least make them rethink what they got going on, I'm winning every single time.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, brother. It sounds like you have a really great head on your shoulders, and I like that you're so strong about it.
Thank you. Like coming where I come from, like I don't see a lot of people that be motivated for real. So all my friends, we all got our own niche. Like we all got our own thing. Mine is content creating. My other friend, his is photography. My other friend, he does detailing for cars, and he loves that. And I encourage them every single day. Like whatever you want to do, I will pour into that. I will pour into that just like you pour into me. Like you gotta start pouring into the people that really support you. You know, and I'm not talking about the people that only support
Oh, wait,
you
hold up. I think I
when
lost
they
you.
getting a
The
little bit of
reception is
notoriety
tripping
from
me out.
you and it's making them look good. You gotta do this like unconsciously for real.
Yeah, my bad. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, Cam. It's just that for whatever reason the reception keeps like it'll start skipping.
Oh, like you gotta pour into the people that pour into you. Like if you got friends and y'all all motivated and y'all all got a niche in whatever that y'all doing, man, support them to the fullest. Like whatever your craft is, whatever you doing, I don't care if you want to sit in the house and draw. Like I would get behind that. Like you gotta really pour into people. Like that it's not enough of that. It's really not. And it's really disappointing because like a lot of people hate on people for just trying to find themselves in their craft.
Yeah, so the name of this podcast is called Me versus Me podcast, and
Hmm.
one of the premises was like from a song that I heard from Nipsey Hussle, and
Hmm.
he was basically talking about like like you're not in competition with anybody else, you're in competition with yourself. So that goes to show that like obviously what you're doing on the day to day will affect your, like as you said earlier, the longevity of things. I really like that word. But
Thank you.
also what somebody else is doing, it doesn't take from you. So it's all
No,
right to pour into people.
right, and it's good to uplift people. You know, like if you my friend and I love you to death, if you come to me with anything that you want to do, I'm getting behind it. Hey, say no more. You know, like that's just the type of person that I am, and that's the type of people I have around me. Because I come from a place where a lot of people don't love people like that. So just to have people that you consider family that actually love you, so it's really a rare thing, and I cherish my friends to death.
And what's funny is like one of the things around me is like it's all love, you know?
Right. It's
Like cuz
got to be all love.
I'll sit someone down. I'll literally be like, "Hey yo, you tripping, right?" But it's out of love. Or I'll
Right. Like, and you got to be honest with people out of love because if you don't sit them down and be honest with them right now, they going to go even further with their behaviors. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like, I'd be like, hey, look, I understand you upset, but you got to calm down right now because what you got going on, it ain't good for business.
Yeah, or like I'll literally be standing with someone in a crazy situation just right there with them like, "I got you, bro." Like it's all love.
No, I didn't hear you. You said it was, yeah, it's everything got to be all love. Like,
Yeah.
you got to, like, because if you don't sit them down right now and let them know that they tripping right now, it's gonna be 10 times worse.
Yeah, or like even if they're not tripping, like let's say if someone they're around is tripping or like, someone they're going against is tripping, bro, I got your back, you know?
Right, you gotta have their back regardless. Like, hey, I know this situation is crazy right now, but you my brother, I got your back regardless. I don't care, like, and that's one thing you can't be afraid to stand up with your people. You can't be afraid, like, cause I done been in situations like, man, I really don't want this to go how it's gonna get.
Yeah.
But like you my boy, so I gotta, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like,
We going in.
hey, we going all in.
Yeah. And like I also see that sometimes people will hesitate. They'll stand back because they don't want other people to like think that they're like more involved or it does like if you're doing it out of love, it doesn't matter who's looking. Hey yo, this is my person. Like we kick it. Like I'm
Right,
not gonna let them get into a rut, like just because I don't want other people around me to think a certain type of way because I'm, backing them up.
right. And like a lot of people, they feel like, oh, you mess with him more than you mess with me. So I feel like it's animosity when it's really not. You know, you like one thing about it, you gotta let your friends know, like, I'll ride with you to the end, but if y'all get into it, I gotta stay neutral because y'all both my family right there. Like, I gotta let y'all handle that situation, but y'all can't disrespect each other, you know? And like you could tell a lot about a person the way they handle situations where it could really go left, for real. And I done been in some crazy situations, and it also show you who you gotta have around you during them type of times. Like if you know this person with you a loudmouth, and you know you hanging with him is gonna get us in trouble, hey, it's best that he stay in the house because I don't want to be out and he start the tripping, and now I gotta back him up knowing that he wrong. Like it'd be crazy sometimes.
Yeah, like you basically have to be able, like in the Bible it says, like judge the company you keep, right?
Absolutely, because sometimes the company that we keep bring more problems than we already got going on.
Right, but you have to do so righteously. So you really have to be able to see what's going on. It's not just like, oh, I don't like the way they eat their food. I don't like blah. Like you have to be able to be like, anytime we go out, this cat's tripping on somebody. But
Right.
I don't mind going in behind them. It's just that every time
Right,
over little stuff.
like every time we go out, we gotta have a bad experience. Like every time we go out, we gotta have like a disagreement. Like just stay home. Like them the type of people that really need to or really look within themselves for real. Because like some people, they not mad at you, they mad at themselves, and they don't want to look within themselves, so they take it out on other people. They inflict how they feel on other people.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is like, so I have this sense of me where I can kind of tell what someone is going through based off of like, just being around them long enough. And then
Yeah,
so those type of people, like I tend to gravitate towards more just because of like my past life, right? And all of the
right,
experiences I had, it it was very similar. So it's like, all of that animosity, that hatred, like all that stuff, like it puts me in a position to where I can speak to them sometimes a little deeper than just like the surface layer stuff based off of my own experiences. And then so I'm able to kind of just like, hey, bro, you tripping, right? Like that person didn't even say anything crazy to you, like blah blah blah. Like, but I address it in a way to where it's like they can't be mad because I'm still
right.
being cool about it, and I'm down for whatever. Like I'm still gonna have your back, but it's like, come on, bro,
Like I know
it's
you're
not
not
that deep.
tripping off what old girl said. Like she been saying that for the longest. Like now you want to let that get under your skin. Like and it's so easy to get upset, but it's so hard to stay
Haha, the
calm. Like
thing, kids are.
man, it's hard to stay calm, especially when you're going through a lot.
Can you I'm sorry, my bad, bro. I think that like the reception's like messing up or something. Can you
Oh,
repeat that for
it's
me?
so easy to get upset, but it's so hard to remain calm, especially when you got a lot of stuff on your mind. Like boy, because I used to be that person like, you know what? I got a lot on my mind. I'm not going out the house today. Like, I'm going to recoup. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to just chill, listen to some music, really take that time because I don't want to, like, bring my bad vibes around everybody that's having a good time.
Exactly. And one thing I know about myself is I'm a high priority person or not high profile person. So when I'm
Right.
out and about on a regular day, I'm high energy. But if you catch me when I'm at low energy, people also notice that too.
Right.
So it's
That's how
like
I
I don't
am
want
because,
this
like,
shit. No, just leave me alone.
yeah, like I'm one of them type of people. Like, hey, if I'm not loud and energetic, like, oh yeah, let's do it. Hey, it's one of them days. Just let me have my moment to reboot and get my energy back up. Because like sometimes when you hang around the wrong people, your social battery be so low.
Yes. And it's like I have a lot of friends who are introverted and like I'm kind of extrovert, but when I'm by myself I'm introverted, if that makes sense.
That's how I am. And every classmate I done had, like, are you like this outside of school? Yes, yes, I am. But when I'm by myself, I like to have that like quiet, that peace, so I
Mhm.
could be who I am when I'm around people, you know. But if it's ever a shift in the vibe where I start to feel like I'm around the wrong people, I relocate.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think
Like
that's
it
just
ain't
being intelligent.
right. It's being self-aware. Like I know these people ain't what I'm on, so I gotta move around to find some better energy. It ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah. Yeah, yeah, because like especially if you're adding to it in a situation where it's like it's kind of like not call like you're not supposed to be there. All you're really gonna do is start introducing a bunch of stuff that doesn't work to like that chemistry when you might
Yeah,
not even supposed to be there.
right. Like I know that I'm not supposed to be somewhere because the vibe don't feel the same like it just was. Like, all right, I see the people I'm vibing with, they starting to phase out and disperse. So it's time for me to go.
Yeah, bro. I see you tracking though. I see you definitely like keeping it pushing. You got goals. You're striding for them. Like it's got to be tough to be your friend, and that's in that like you're not there yet. So you're just probably just leaving everybody behind. Not that it's like
Yeah,
in a bad way or nothing, because everybody goes at their own pace. But
right.
I'm
And
saying it's not always easy.
nah, it's not because I'm that friend that don't drink, smoke, party. Like I'm just not that friend. Like that's not something that I've been into. That's not something that I ever get into because I just feel like a lot of people do it too much for me to want to engage in it.
Yeah, bro. And it's all about preference. At the end of the day, it's all about your personality. If you can do it, I saw this on a podcast earlier. I forgot where it was, but it's like if you can do it without if you can do it without like losing productivity, then by all means, bro, more
Right,
power to you. That's
and
your
like
personality.
indulge and like have fun. But the people that want to let it consume them the people I be worried about. Like, hey, look, they done took 3 or 4 shots. They ain't here putting their hands on people. It's time to go. It's time to pack up. But me, like, I've never been that type of individual to like all my like a lot of my friends, they drink, they party, they smoke, but they don't do it on an everyday basis. And I knew I was never gonna be that person to party when I got to college. For real.
Yeah, and that's a whole different drive, by the way. Because like I'm saying, when you're around someone like that, and they're like making content, they're working, they're studying, they don't even party. Like it's very easy to feel left behind. Like damn. So like some of the people that like you might run into later on in life, once they got it figured out and stuff, or maybe not. But like it's because you doing what you got to do, bro. Like you out there, you're pushing forward, bro. And as we say in Spanish, dándole. You're
Yes,
getting it.
sir. Hey, that's how I gotta be because I just got so much that I really wanna like achieve and I don't shame anybody for what they do, do what you do, But you also gotta have that boundary, like, hey, look, I told you I don't indulge in that type of stuff. Cause I done lost some friends behind like I done lost people that I'm cool with behind that, like, hey, look, I already told you I don't drink because now I feel like you trying to like test what I'm saying. And I'm one of the people like I stand firm on what I say. Like I told you I don't engage with that type of stuff. So don't try to test the waters with that. Like at least
Mhm.
not with me.
Right, right, right. Because you're gonna see it and you're gonna call it, and then they're
Right.
not
And
gonna
I'm
be
one of them
ready, and now
people.
it's gonna be we're both gonna be uncomfortable.
Right, like, all right now, like I'm telling you, like, all right, do I gotta pull you aside and we gotta have a whole different conversation? You
Yeah,
know what? You know what, never mind. I'ma just go ahead and go. You know what, today ain't the night anyway.
yeah. I mean, in most matters, like sometimes, or I want to say, like most cases, it's not even that deep. It's just people not really understand. Like, and here's the thing, like you'll notice that people don't have it figured out either because of the way they go about situations. I don't blame them. I'm the same way, but like you can see it more so in other people
Right.
than you can in yourself.
Right,
Better so.
absolutely. Like it's so easy to critique situations that we ain't even touched on yet. It's so easy to say what I would do or what I wouldn't do when it's not your situation. But when you in a situation, boy, it's like you going every which way but forward. Like, and sometimes we make stupid decisions just because we feel like it was the best thing to do at that time period.
Yeah, you did your best.
Right, like, and I don't shame nobody. Like, as long as you out here trying, you trying to fix your situation. Like, as long as you trying, that's what I respect most. Like, I give anybody a chance as long as they trying.
Yes, even going back to those conversations that I've had with people where I had to pull them to the side, like, you're wrong. They were like, yeah. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, like I understand it. Like, so, you're wrong. Yeah, it's all good, bro. Like, come on, like let's go.
Yeah, like, do we got to go somewhere else, and me and you could just have like our own little situation, because like growing is not easy. Like sometimes you gonna have that set of friends that you hang with. On sometimes then you got that set of friends that you really gravitate towards. Like these my main people that I deal with. So it's
It's
kind of
getting
hard to
good. It
like
was getting good.
difference between the two.
No, Cam, my bad. It was getting good, and then it just stopped on me.
Nah, it's cool. Like it's like, oh goodness, I talk so much. It's kind of hard for me to remember sometimes.
Nah, bro, I get it. That's why I'm
But
like,
it's but it's like it's a growing thing. Life don't get no easier, but like sometimes stuff get a little bit hard. And my saying is, if stuff getting a little bit harder, you in your due season. Because if I'm waking up and stuff getting progressively harder, I'm on my way through to a breakthrough. You know, I got my times where I might sit down and might rethink a lot of things, but I'm not gonna quit because I know something good is at the end of the tunnel. You know,
yeah,
and me
yeah,
like
for
I,
sure.
you just gotta see everything through.
Yeah. And you know what, touching back on that last thing we were just talking about, like I just want to clarify, like when me and that person were talking or whatever, and I
Mm-hmm.
acknowledged that like they were wrong, they acknowledged they were wrong. That was just me pulling it to a friend's attention and being like, you're wrong, them acknowledging it, and then me being cool with it. Cause it's like I've been that person. When I'm saying stuff out loud, I'm like, damn, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. And my people are like, yeah. And I'm like, damn, my bad, y'all. And they're like, it's all good. We
Right,
got you,
like
but
and
you
you
just had
and you
dumb
got
as
to
hell.
be able to you got to be able to tell yourself like, you know what, I overreacted.
Yeah.
Like I'm not mad at you. I just got a lot going on. And but your friends that really understand you and get you, they understand like, you know what? I'm not even going to take that to heart because a few months ago that was just me. It's all about being transparent like, and everybody got emotions. It's all about how you conduct yourself because you can't allow people to get you out your square to you just acting and doing and saying anything because you upset. You know?
Also, and this is going to be a good one, what type of space do you create for other people to exercise in? What type of energy are you allowing them to exercise?
Me, I'm the type of person where it's a free space. Whatever is on your mind. If it's me and you talking, it's us one on one. Before the conversation start, whatever we talking about, do not leave out this space. This is our space that we done created. This is our environment. Can't nobody come in here and tell you how to feel, what to feel, when to, how to, about to, none of that. Like this is our space. Whatever is on your chest, by all means, bring it to the table. You know, because that's something that I had to learn to do. Like because I used to be that type of person where I'm not talking about nothing until it's to the point where I can't hold it in no more. And I had to learn like when you hold a lot of stuff in and you go through something that's gonna piss you off, now you just upset about a multitude of things now.
No, you're right, bro. So it is very important the environment that you set for people. You myself, I always like to be very honest and transparent
Right.
and straight up. So that way when people are around me and like let's say we're having a conversation like outside the podcast, you're going to feel very safe. You're going to be like I could say it to Richie, "Hey, like whatever." Like that's why I was bringing this point up was like sometimes it's about the relationship that you have with people and that environment that you create for them to be able to like open up to you in those moments where they do feel like they're wrong, because that is where they're gonna be able to like, stretch their legs a bit and be like, yeah, maybe I did overreact to stuff. Instead of judging them, or like instead of people judging you, and then you feel like, you know what, maybe I don't really want to go talk about that with that person no more, you know?
Right. And it's like you can't be judgmental because everybody lived their life differently. Some stuff that you probably wouldn't do is something that somebody else probably did. So, it is what it is. Like you can't be judgmental. You could just like, all right, that's probably something I wouldn't take part in, but I can't judge you for doing that. That's how you live. If you want to live your life on the edge, go right ahead. Go right ahead. But I'm big on like creating that space, like because if you don't create that space, like I got people, I'd have made them so comfortable, like they'd consider me they therapist. Like I could be somewhere, I'm on the PlayStation chilling. Like I'm on the game with all the guys. They call, hello? Hey Cam, I'm going through something right now. You got some time? Yeah, hey y'all, I get off, I'm about to be on in an hour or so. My boy just called me. Like he got something on his chest. Let's talk. You need me to pull up on you so I can really understand where you coming from? Because it's important to have people like that. Because like you don't want to lose people to a situation that y'all could talk about and get a good understanding. Cause I done lost a lot of people that I wish I could have helped get through a lot of situations. But me not being intelligent enough to be there for them like that, I done lost a lot of good people like that, gang. And it's just like it's sad, but when you emotionally intelligent now, you can understand it better.
Yeah, man. And it sucks to say that sometimes you do lose some good friends like that, because like you're not aware enough in the amount of time that you need it to be, or like let's
Right.
say in that particular time. And
Yeah.
it's just, oh my gosh, it's the worst feeling when you know that like someone's like on the fritz, or something's going on with someone, and you don't really know how to help that person, but you kind of wish that you did.
Right. And sometimes we can't stop everything. If you feel like it's out of your control, hey, you need to go check yourself in. You need to go get some help. You need to go get some therapy. You need to sit down and talk to a therapist because I don't want to lose you. And and I'm one of them people, like I'm honest for real. Like, hey, look, I don't think I could be able to live my life knowing that I wasn't able to at least help you. You know, like even if you don't want to take the help that I'm giving you, just know that I'm extending that olive branch to get you some help. Like, cause I'm one of them friends. Like I'm supportive for real. Like I don't care where you at. If you in a place where you feel uncomfortable, that's like if you call me, hey Cam, it's Richie. Can you pull up on me right now? Yeah, where you at? I'm on my way. Let me stop and get some gas. And I'm on my way. I'm on my
Yeah.
way to you right now because that's the type of people that I have around me. And that's what rubs off on me. Like when I love hard. When I care even harder because you don't know the people's situation. Everybody got that battle that they battle in private.
If you, because I gotta leave soon, but I was gonna say, if you had any final messages for people who are gonna watch this podcast in the future about everything that we've spoken about, or about the things that you feel like you would want them to have the biggest takeaways over, how would you leave it? How would you leave that message for them?
Uh how would I leave that message? Always be yourself, you know, always watch your surroundings and always be honest with yourself and always hold yourself accountable. And if you got dreams, chase them. Chase them to the fullest. Like sometimes you're gonna look crazy, sometimes you gonna look delusional a lot of times, but them the times that you gonna look back on. If you gotta spend that extra $20 or $40 to get that push for your content, do it. Whatever you wanna take serious in your life, do it and do it with a passion. That's the biggest thing you gotta do. Do it with a passion and love what you do.
You know, I would say that if I could add anything onto that, it would be also take care of the people that you have in your life now.
Right.
Because everybody's going through something, but also along the way, just because not everybody's on the same vibe as you doesn't necessarily mean that they're like, they're this way, they're that way. Sometimes you're so on your own vibe that it's kind of hard for people to keep up in the with adding respect on whatever it is that they got going on. You know,
Absolutely.
because
And
two
make sure
things
you
cannot
check
be compared.
right and check in with your people. Like if these people that surround you that you really got love for, make sure you pour into them, make sure you check up on them. If they going through something, make sure you try to help them through whatever. Because you can't say you love a person, but when it's time for you to really be there and stand by them, you don't want to do it because you feel like what they got going on is too much. If I love you, your problem is my problem. We gonna figure it out together. I don't care who feel a way about it because it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that was wonderfully said. And my bad about the connectivity issues. I'm really going to just kind of like make sure that like next time I have a little bit more time to set up, so that
For
way
sure.
I don't know what's probably interfering with the reception right now. But Cam, man, it was great talking to you. What I do want to ask you though is, do you got any merch? Do you got a store? Where do you want people to go to find you? Like,
You
talk
can
to the
find
people.
me on TikTok at Cam underscore DA underscore shark. All my social medias are there. Click the Instagram button, YouTube, Instagram, all of that is in the bio. Hopefully I'll be back soon because I enjoy this podcast. And I really been tapping in. I really been tapping in, like I might not see and hear everything, but when I got free time, I'll check in. I'll check in on my people, making sure they still doing what they do. And I want to say, like, you doing your thing out here, really. Like, I understand you going far, you going places for real. I just hope you continue to grow and continue to reach your target audience.
I appreciate that, bro. Also, I'm the same way. I'm the type of person that if there's a content creator that I like and they haven't posted in a bit, I'll send a message. Hey, what's up? You good?
Hey,
They don't even know me. They're like, hey, I
no, for
appreciate you.
real. Hey, you're not the only person that do that. Hey, I done went 4 days without posting. They get on me about that. Like, hey, where the
You good,
videos
bro?
at? Hey, I need an update. I need something. I need to make sure you are all right. And I love that because, like, you got to create your own safe space on the internet with all this craziness going on.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, but thank you for joining the show. And yes, for sure, we're gonna have you on next time, bro. It's gonna be even better. Oh my gosh, because we're gonna have
Yes,
so much more to talk about.
yes, sir. I look forward to it. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. And I love y'all.
Peace,
Peace.
bro.
I told you what I aim on. You hit me with a damn fine. Look what it's become. I'm so calm, I'm so calm. I'm so calm, I'm so calm. I told you what I aim on. You hit me with a damn fine. Look what it's become. I'm so calm.